first question, but if you guys have questions, you guys can turn it up. So first off, what inspired you and your team to start this documentary? Like, what birthed the vision?
Yeah, I guess for me, growing up, I was born and raised in Dallas, Texas. I was telling some of these guys, and I currently live in LA. But I grew up in a household with a single mom, 2 younger brothers. So I've seen struggle in a certain life, just trying to be able to, get by and grow and even go to college and go through a lot of things. But as I grew up in the household, my mom did a lot of great things as far as instill the value of who I was, my culture, my background. She's always educating me. But what was funny is that when I went to school, I would always, if someone found out I was Ethiopian, there was always that negative stereotype, like these questions that always come about, so is your family from there? What did they run with lions? Hey, I'm being honest. As a kid, this is what I heard when I was a kid. Did you run with lions? Do they have clothes out there? And they're just questions. They just don't know any better. But I would get questions like that all the time. But in the house with my mother, who raised me with a background, I was just like, I was in a conflict, of my background, of who I was, and then what I see it from people's impressions of who I was at school, to media. I grew up with those 10 cents a day commercials. Not to knock them, those are great to help people, but at the same time, that's all you saw, on TV whenever Ethiopia was portrayed. So I grew up with that dynamic, and I grew up in the middle, so I was born in America, but my family's from Ethiopia, and it's just that awkward place, I'm not fully American, I'm not fully this, and what am I? It's kind of like an identity thing. So, and there's a lot of people that are like that, I'm not the only one. So I grew up like that, and I used to hear that, so all that built something in me to want to seek more, to want to learn more, to want to find out more. I was never the smartest guy growing up, but I really have a passion to learn, and I really have a passion to seek truth. And that was the foundation of how everything got inspired. If you want to be able to learn, there's resources, there's people, and you got to be able to learn for yourself and pick and choose. So for me, it was just the way I was raised. A great documentary, if you just want to talk about an inspirational documentary, for me was Black Gold. I don't know if y'all ever seen it, but a movie called Black Gold also inspired me. So a couple of those things really just I picked up on growing up.
So with the documentary, you talk about learning, were you trying to teach something, or what are you trying to accomplish with the documentary?
Yeah, well, with the documentary, initially going in there, we kind of just went in with a mindset saying, I've never been there. A couple of our crew members have been there, so they're kind of familiar with the area. So first off, I wanted to go in there, and I didn't want to just impose my ideas or what I think. I wanted to be able to go under with a mindset just to serve. That was the beginning thing. As a director, I took my director hat off. I said, I want to get on the ground with these people. I want to find out where they live. I want to find out what they do. I want to find out who they are. That's the first thing. So a lot of these people I had conversations with in their own homes or at Starbucks, just normal places. They have a place called Kali's Coffee, which is in Ethiopia. It's like a Starbucks. But I just hung out with those people. That's all I did, just get to know them before I even shot anything. And then as I'm learning, I'm soaking a lot of this information. I'm soaking in a lot of stuff that's worth teaching to people here. Because I just knew that whatever I was learning is so valuable. Whatever I was learning was so valuable that I knew eventually I would get to a place where I could be able to speak to people on the other side of the world about this experience. So I just took it in, and I valued it, and just recorded the journey. And I just wanted to share it with people so they could be inspired. Because I know that there's a lot of people in there that can relate to at least one of these characters and are in places where they want to do something, maybe they don't know how to do it, or they just need direction, or they just need inspiration, or maybe they had a dream or something in their heart that they just kind of died down because of people around that look down on them. So I've always thought about those type of people that, because I dealt with that, even going into this. A lot of people told me don't even do it, because they said no matter what you do, the government will shut you down. They told me straightforward, don't go there, you won't succeed. I've gotten a lot of those things, but I think for me, it's just beyond that. These people and their stories taught me, and I just wanted to be able to be in a place, just to be a platform, just to help them share those stories, so you guys can hear it and really be inspired to carry out the vision, the passion in your heart, and also give you some direction about how you can support these existing people and projects.
So you talk about being hands-on and on the ground. What type of obstacles did you face going into this project?
A lot. I mean, for me, you know, whenever you're doing an independent project like this, a film, and no one really, I had nobody fund it. I had to find money on my own, and as you know, a broke college student is always broke. Yeah, so I'm sure a lot of us can relate. But for me, I don't know, I didn't have the money, so I did something crazy, and I'm very shameless. I told you on the very beginning, that's how I was introducing myself. I did something called the Dollar Campaign, and I just made it up. You know, I had a passion to go to Ethiopia, I had a passion to do so much work, so you know, so one of my friends approached me, his name was Dano, and he was like, man, Nate, you have over 5,000 friends on Facebook, and you have this going and this, and you know this people. So have you ever thought about just asking for $1 from every one of those, and then you could have it? And something just triggered. I was like, that's a crazy idea. I never thought I would ever think about doing something like that, asking people. So I did a campaign. No matter where I was, as shameless as I would be at a dinner table hanging out with some friends. I said, hey, you guys, you know what? I started this campaign called the Dollar Campaign. I'm trying to go to Ethiopia and share some stories. You down to help me? And they just saw the passion and dream in me. It's like, yeah, here, maybe 5, 10 here and there. And I went on the internet, and I went on YouTube. And I did this whole thing. My roommate was, he did film in school, so he helped me just get a camera, and we did like makeshift lighting out of like natural things. If I showed you what it looked just so crazy. But we put it on YouTube, but it looked professionally done. We believed in the project. They had people that invested in it, and we did the campaign from YouTube. People started sending money in through the mail, supporting me online. I did, what's that website? You could be able to put money into PayPal. I did PayPal. I did a lot of that stuff. I was learning as I was going. When I did the campaign, I had no idea I was going to even succeed. I just knew this is something I needed to do because I believe in it. If I was going to fail, I was going to fail. I'm fine with failing with something that I feel like that's in me, that needs to happen. I'm fine. I'm not afraid of failing. So for me, I just knew that let me just put everything in there. I want to learn. I want to grow. And even just talking to you right now, I'm in a place where I'm still learning and growing. I have no idea what I'm doing at Cornell. I don't deserve to be here. But it's just so amazing that I have an opportunity like this to be a platform to do this. And I'm blown away at every school I get to go to and meet so many different students with, you know, stories. I met Grace. I met people here that I sat down and just talked to them. Like, it's in there. Like, there's something in you guys that's just going for more, you know, and I'm just here to encourage you, you know, pursue that. You have so many resources. Like, that's something also with me. I grew up in Dallas, Texas, single mother, put me through school, got a chance to go to college. Like, I got a chance to experience so much education and work in the working environment, and I just want to I don't want to just say that this is it for me. This is my trophy. I want to just use that as a platform.
My final question before I open it up is, how has this impacted you personally, emotionally?
Oh man. But you know, it's so sad. I mean, as good as this, I mean, as impactful as this was to me, it's an experience. A lot of this stuff, I'm afraid that you didn't see, and that was the simplicity of things. Like, for example, we were shooting one day, Brookie's story. We're in front of Addis Ababa University, and I remember we were just shooting a scene, and then on the side, in my peripheral, I saw a group of kids, you know, just raggedy clothes, playing with this a small rug ball, and they're just kind of just playing around. They're laughing, they're having, and one of my cameramen just stopped recording, and he was looking. And I was like, hey, we need to keep going, we need to keep going. Yeah, just trying to, but then he caused me to stop, and I'm looking at this. You know what he said to me? He said, Nate, how come I can't be this happy? And that stopped everything for me. I stopped shooting, stopped. I was just like, man, that's a good, genuine question. How are these kids, you know, running around in the dirt, playing with a rug ball, enjoying life with so much hope, you know, in their eyes? They have something. They have something. You know, like, they taught me more than I could teach them. And I've been through school, I've been through college, I've been through different types of jobs that I made decent money, that those things could make me happy. But what's in them? That was one of the greatest moments. And that wasn't really captured, but like, stuff like that, the simplicity of life and the hope that these people have, and the lessons that you can learn from people on the other side of the world, that's the most valuable thing to me. And I'll never forget those moments. So for me, I think, you know, moments like that, that's what I cherish, and that's what helps me keep a good perspective as I move forward and do what I do and struggle and still look for more opportunities to do more projects. those kids and what you saw in these people, that's what I hold in heart, and that's what I hope to keep my perspective straight, no matter where I go, no matter what I do, no matter how far I go or how little, wherever I go, I want to be able to keep that perspective.
So, anyone guys have questions?
Not all at once.
Over here.
How did you pick these people? How did you pick the organizations?
How do I pick these people?
I mean, these organizations,
Okay.
the subject even, how
Yeah.
do you find, maybe you found them, or because there's so much out there.
Yeah.
It's so hard to.
Yeah, that's a good question. That's a really good. For me, as I was learning through the process, again, like I met with local organizations in Los Angeles where I lived. I just try to start local before I went global. So I just started local. What are the existing organizations here that do stuff back home? So I'm sitting in on their meetings, I'm learning, and then finally I come across a group of people that have a magazine called Addis Life magazine. And they're actually in association with us with C26 Media. They do some amazing things right now. But I got in contact with them, and they are into, kind of highlighting stories in their magazine of people, of influential, ordinary people that are doing some amazing things. And it's just so funny that that was kind of the vision of this project. So reaching out to them was almost like an existing vision that already started. So when we kind of met and were talking about it, it was almost like, can this just be the film version of whatever you're putting out? And half of these people were from there. Some of them we just met. Again, like we had a producer, Helen Casa, that was with us, and she showed up to Ethiopia like a week before we went. And she literally is amazing. She went into Ethiopia, just started talking to random people. She met certain contacts she was supposed to meet, and then from there met other contacts. Because she would just, be so fascinated, and she would just ask, is there anybody else that you know? And then from there, she would meet somebody else. So she set up a whole calendar of meetings. So as soon as me and the rest of the team showed up in Ethiopia, that's all we did for 1 week actually. We met with people, we met at their houses, met at coffee shops, just talking to them, getting to know their stories, and then from there, the second week, we finalized it and said, we want to focus on these 8 people, 4 people more in depth, the other 4 we just kind of want to give brief descriptions of what they do because we feel like that's something powerful on its own. So that's kind of how it worked out. They were a big help. Good question though, thank you for asking.
Hi, I'm just wondering whether you have any idea of their funding resources, because if these organizations are really doing great things, but if they really want sustainable development, they do need the funding. So do you know any idea of how they get the fundings?
Yeah, well, 2 of the projects, like Brookty and Eden, they were based out of a ministry. That was kind of like an outreach ministry that they did, so a church really funds that outreach program. And then, the business owner, again, he's in a place right now where he can generate, revenue from, current business in Ethiopia. What he does is he hires locals. And as you heard in the documentary, he has low expectation of their capability, but he has high expectation of their willingness to learn, which is powerful, very powerful, something significant that we all can learn about that. So he takes chances with people like that, and he hires them so they can help their families. And right now, it's one of the best burger places I've ever ate in my life, I'll be honest with you. I ate there 3 times a week, maybe. It was that good. Nothing else can come close. So the different organizations have different ways that they're funded. One thing I'm glad is that they're not relying on us to fund. They're not saying, Nate, can you be able to put us on a website and see if we can generate this much funds? They're not like that. They didn't ask for this really. I'm just doing it for everyone else so they can be able to have genuine conversations, learn from them, and maybe they can also support if they want to be able to support these programs. So all of these programs they have their own funding and they're running really well, and that was a part of the research process too. I wanted to make sure the organizations that we broadcast or that we highlight are organizations that can stand on their own, and I want people to be able to learn how they can do that. So if you want to be able to find out how people are doing that more in detail, funding, those are great questions to ask each and every one of those, and they're on our website at sincerelyethiopia.com and the Get Connected page. Good question though.
So you mentioned as a kid being asked questions like, did you used to run with lions and stuff? So is it's clear that it was partly your intention to try and re-image Africa or Ethiopia. And Professor Wu should see this very, very well. You used art as a major source in your documentary. You didn't show the booming infrastructure in Addis. Why did you take that direction? Why use art instead of showing the material resources, the material wealth that is slowly accruing in the country?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I would have done that if I had more time. Again, these were 8 stories, so I have to really be strategic with what I show, with where I go. The place where they do that is called Genja. I think I'm pronouncing it right. I hope I'm not killing it. The city, Genja. But it's a little out there. But like they do that, and that they do a lot of work there. And I want to be able to go to that place. I didn't get a chance to go, but that's something I wish I could have shot. But just for the sake of time and the stories of all these different people, it was tough to fit that within 3 weeks. But that's something awesome that I wish I had a chance to shoot.
And I think, focusing on infrastructure and building, I think that's more development on the country, but I believe your main focus was the people and, kind of re-imaging that idea. And through art and all that, I think you did a great job.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Right, I was so impressed with you as a person. Just looking at what you said and how you detailed what you did. Very impressive. Keep going. Stay strong and all that. Stay up. But basically, are you going to try to put this on larger media? Because I'm following your question too about the re-imaging. Because with like a PBS, are you marketing it around to other institutions, universities? I know you're doing the tour, but in the libraries and so that you're going to try to have it so that it's accessible as a teaching tool as well?
Yeah, that's a good question. Hey, really quick, I'm sorry, do you think that if the camera is still recording, because I want people to be able to catch this, because it cuts off in like 15 minutes. So just checking, but thank you so much. Okay. For me, again, this is a part of learning now. Every stage, I'll be very honest with everyone here, every stage that I've done this project, I've been learning at every single stage. One stage opens the door for another. I had no money, had to learn how to fundraise, get money together. Had no idea how to do that. I used Facebook, YouTube, friends, family, talk. I had to research, got the funding. Then research about camera equipment, learning about camera equipment. I'm a mass communications major. I'm not a film production major. But mass communications teaches you a little bit about this stuff. But I had no film training. So learning about cameras, going into Sammy's Camera or Best Buy, and talking to some of these guys, that was my research. Talking to these guys that are walking around, hey, what does that camera do? What's the difference between this camera and this camera? This camera costs $3,000, this camera costs $1,500. What am I sacrificing by going this? And I have to tell them I'm a filmmaker. I haven't made a film in my life, but I'm gonna do it, So I'm a filmmaker, I'm going to Ethiopia, I'm gonna do this big project, and I need your help, I need to know. So that was research right there for learning equipment. Learn about equipment, great. Now let's learn how to use it. I'm in LA in my apartment using my roommates as ways I can be able to shoot, to figure out the different ways I can be able to shoot it. So I learned in my own apartment how to shoot and learning from different people like that. Just my roommate was a big help too. Learning that. Learn how to shoot. Went to Ethiopia. Dealing with Ethiopia, being in Africa, is its own challenge. And learning the people, learning, the process of that was a big lesson for me. So 3 weeks shooting that, was big. Coming back, post-production, learning about post-editing. I always edited on a small scale, never really on something like this. Learning about editing, how that works. That was another research. Got that done. Marketing, where we're at now today, while I'm talking to you. I'm learning every stage, y'all. Now, at this place, what we're doing right now is we are kind of doing an exclusive tour at different colleges. Why did I pick colleges? I picked colleges for the simple fact that I did not just want this to be on a film festival. I didn't want just a red carpet and people just applause and walk out. I wanted moments like this. So the reason why I did this is moments like this, where I get a chance to talk to you, inspire you, and tell you my experience. I'm sure you can teach me a lot on your own as well. I'm seeing doors being opened as I'm going, and as doors are being opened, I'm learning through the process. Now,
We're out of time.
perfect. Thank you.
Let's give Nate a round of applause.